Okay, it is 11:30 and today is the prison board meeting scheduled for May 8, 2025. Call the meeting to order. We do have a quorum. Visitors' remarks concerning the agenda. Hearing none. Approval of the minutes of April 10th, 2025.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Warden's report. Warden Katrina.
So today's total population was a 5-6, was 192. There's 151 males, 38 females, 3 at other institutions. I have 2 out daily work release, 1 county maintenance guy. We hired 1 new part-time officer, T. Ingman, which brings my staffing to almost just about fully staffed. I only have 2 vacancies for full-time positions. Marion's still working on the new system with the commissary commissions and all that, so she'll be back hopefully next month, get that figured out for you guys. I had no constant watches. I only had 2 medical transports, 1 on 411, 1 male to Troy procedures. He returned without any other issues. And then on 426, 1 female to Troy for blood pressure issues. She returned without any issues. No Prias and no new charges. So
Unusual.
Unusual. Nice, quiet month.
I'm not there.
That's what I'm thinking, right? So, yep, I got 5 court placements, 2 magistrate level, 3 DRO, for a total of 10 this month. 39 criminal cases and 34 DRO cases. Wow. For an average of 74 this year. That's it for the warden's report.
Thank you, Warden. I have a motion to accept the warden's report.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Any communications? No unfinished business. No new business. Any requests for executive session? None. And visitors' remarks.
Since you have almost full staffing now, are you going to resume the community, I forget what it's called, community workforce inmate program?
Yes, I would like to resume that.
When do you expect to resume it?
At any time now, actually. I mean, we're open for business, so anybody that wants to reach out.
No, there are a number of municipalities that are using it in Bradford.
Yeah, there's a lot of municipalities that use it. South Gravely, Wyalusing, they were.
They use it for parks too.
Yep. So,
could you explain what that program is?
Community Workforce Program was a program set up, it's been way before COVID. And it took inmates out of the jail to do community service for local municipalities and nonprofit organizations throughout Bradford County.
Non-violence.
Non-violent offenders, they ought to be passed by the judge and probation approval. Yeah, there's a whole committee that has to see and make sure they're appropriate.
And how would an organization get in touch with you when you reactivate it, if you can reactivate?
There's an application process online for Bradford County.
Thank you.
Or they can just contact.
Or they can just contact the jail to get an application. Yeah. Thank you.
Do the inmates get paid at all for?
No, it's community service.
Okay, so they get, I think you said at one point they get credit for their community service if they have that.
Yep.
And then the other thing is that I remember like a few months ago there was, I thought you were going to go out for an RFP, but maybe I'm wrong, to get a new medical provider for your jail because the one that you're using ended up, the cost of that company ended up being going up really tripled or something over the time that they were here. I didn't know where that stood.
Well, that's really not a prison board issue. We can hear it, but it's a budgetary issue that the county commissioners would do that.
So the budget wouldn't be passed until the end of the year. Is that when there might be is that when you would address it? But around the budget time?
Possible, yeah.
Are you thinking that that you will put in, are you going to put out an RFP, or is it still just up, or is it up in the air?
It's up in the air right now.
Okay. Why wouldn't you put it up, put out an RFP because your costs went up? I don't know, I forget, it was like $400,000 a year to 1.2 million, if I remember right.
It's a next year budget issue.
Okay,
This year's budget's already set.
okay.
I'm missing.
So we're
The
talking,
RFP for the medical thing.
Oh, that medical, that's $4,000 a day. It's gotta be looked at 100%.
When's the current contract expire?
that's a Michelle question. Put you on the spot, Michelle.
We'd have to break the contract. It's,
It's
I
a
think.
3-year
It was a 3-year contract,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it was signed
Yeah.
last year.
2028, I think, is
Yeah.
when it expires.
And the price is locked in? For the, okay, so you don't have to worry about it until,
No, they have,
There's steps.
there's a step, yeah.
It's a step.
Well, you got
3% increase.
Right, but
for-
pharmaceuticals not locked in. Right, because we're the stopgap. They've got so much that they'll spend on pharmaceuticals, and then the
Anything
county's
over
on,
that.
yeah, the
Yeah.
county's on for it. Dr. Camera, I mean, this is years ago, I know, we did a terrific job for this county to get those kids in the boat. But, I wanted to see if we can find somebody else there again.
So I think to your question, James, and I think correct me if I'm wrong, Commissioner Miller, but when the budget goes through, budget decisions will then, if a budget is adopted that provides for a lower amount towards that, you have to then, there would have to be some type of an action taken to ensure that whoever the vendor is fits within whatever has been budgeted, right? I think it's that.
But it would be a budgetary issue. I mean, it's the budget.
Nobody's saying they're doing a bad job. What we're saying is it's damn expensive.
So, and just to be clear, because there's the base fee, but then there's a portion, Michelle, correct, that is what's a catastrophic, is that what it's called?
Mhm.
And that's a variable. You have no way of knowing what the catastrophic fee cost is going to be on top of what your base cost is.
What's the catastrophic part?
Hospital visits,
okay.
So, in other words, if
uh,
they,
medications that are not within anything over that medication piece, that would go into catastrophic. So
Somebody with cancer.
somebody with cancer, somebody with an immune deficiency disease.
Looks like
would-
drugs are expensive.
So in other words, the individual's coming to the prison, there's no
Way to tell.
way to tell, and even if there was, you don't, correct me if I'm wrong, the district attorney's office is not gonna make decisions on who to incarcerate on the basis of their physical health. That would be entirely improper. So the idea is that this, he gets who he gets, and then it's up to the county to decide.
And we bear the medical costs.
Correct. So for example, if somebody.
wait, what did you say, we bear the medical?
We bear the medical costs when they enter our facilities.
So let's say somebody has medical assistance. By
Right,
law, when they enter the correctional facility, those costs are no longer borne by medical assistance. Those costs are borne by the county for their medical care. And that includes the day-to-day in the prison, but also if they then have something that requires them to go off-site to Guthrie Clinic or Packer or whatever, we have to pay that catastrophic on top of that. Does that help you to understand?
so in other words, if they go to if, say someone's on medical assistance, and they come to the jail, and then they have, I don't know, a heart attack, then you have to pay the entire cost of sending them
Medical
to.
assistance stops when they
We
enter
own
the
that
facility.
person when they
Yeah.
walk in that gate.
Correct.
Okay, you have to pay the entire cost of them
Yes,
going to the
Right.
hospital.
We have no discretion, that's a decision that gets made at the state level. That we
Right,
have no discretion over that. But, in all fairness, right, individuals are entitled to medical, like whatever appropriate medical care, so then it falls on the county. And that's where, if it's something that's beyond what can be handled in the prison, that falls under the catastrophic.
okay.
Any other questions?
Okay.
Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.